Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to part 2 of the hardcore guide. It's going to be a bit fragmented. I mean, I finished the first episode at level, I don't know what I was, 5 or 6 or something, 7. I'm now level 33. What I'm doing at the moment, despite what I said about resistances, I'm trying to get some of them raised up by exploiting the vendors, by going around checking the vendors. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to a vendor and I'm pasting in elemental resistance and I'm looking for stuff that's got 11%, because you could get stuff with individual fire, cold and lightning, but if you can get something that buffs all three of those, then so much the better. Now this guy has got a medal. I already had a look. There it is, look at that, 22% elemental resistance. I could get the Leovinus ring. In fact, I don't know where that's gone. I'm pretty sure I picked that up. It's probably in stash. I've got a ward stone as well that will go on a medal. So what I can do, if I ditch my Brawler's Distinction for now, put that medal in there, that's got elemental up to, because that wasn't buffing a specific resistance type, it was reducing stun, freeze, entrapment, petrify. I'm not really that bothered about that because I'm just standing still doing retaliation damage, so moving isn't really an issue. The other thing, chance on attack, I'm not really attacking much stuff apart from Bloody Pox. I'll mention what I'm doing with that in a minute. So oh, I sold it, yeah. Here's a tip: if you're going to right click on something to consume it or attach it, don't have a vendor window open because you'll have issues. Right, stick that on there. Right, so that's now more respectable, 67%. That's okay. I'll show you what the build's doing. The builds, I'm doing a retaliation build and I've got Counter Strike maxed out. I'm working on getting Menhir's Bulwark maxed out. Occultist, I've got 1 point in Bloody Pox and I've got that on. This is the thing that speeds them up. They just move really fast and attack really fast. So if you've got retaliation going on, it vaporizes them. You've got to be careful though, because their defensive ability goes up, which is a bit grim. But it does seem to work. This thing drops their physical resistance, that drops their acid, poison and acid resistance. I'm kind of going to mix and match physical and acid resistance until later on. Devotions, I got that first. It's a chance on block. It's not really a retaliation thing, but it factors in a percentage of your retaliation damage, and that's going off all the time. I got that first so it can level up quite quickly. It's level 9 at the moment. I got Messenger of War. Although it's like an elemental, it's like fire retaliation. It buffs retaliation damage and it's pretty decent, and it's got a whole load of retaliation nodes on it. That dog I'll keep for a while. This scarab I'm going to get. I want to get over to this thing here. Shield Maiden. Defensive, retaliation, whatever. Do this. It's going to be almost the same devotion setup as the commando. We'll see how that goes. It's not specific to hardcore. So that was me checking that vendor and getting a nice medal with 22%. I don't know where my Leovinus ring's gone. Things I'm lugging around. I did say don't carry loads of stuff around because you die, you lose it. I'm not really that bothered about this stuff. That's got lightning retaliation on it. It's going to be slightly better than my soil trousers. Yeah, let's just show you how this thing works. It's a bit scary. I wouldn't recommend this build if it's your first time trying to play hardcore. Right, that's with Bloody Pox on them. See how quickly they die? Because it speeds them up. 150% speed up. And they're out of control. See how it goes against this boss. This might be a bit... I might have to quit out. I might have to demonstrate a hardcore quitting out the game skill. Got Blade Barricade up. Look at the health regen though, see? It's alright. It's a shame about these scarab carapaces. They're not... If one drops with of thorns, it would be pretty good. Seismic blast. No, it's not retaliation damage. I got quite a few of them drop. That's got 64 retaliation on it and 6% physical resistance. I'm thinking of swapping that over. I know that other thing's got 143 vitality retaliation. Oh, yeah, it's kind of alright. Let's go somewhere where there's loads of enemies. Hang on. So I'm still mostly sticking to the hints and tips that I gave early on. Bloody Pox. Blood Intrigue, Blade Barricade. You got to watch the ranged attackers because they don't, at the moment, they're not taking any damage from retaliation because they're ranged. Yeah, whatever. See, it's a bit of a faff. But what you can do, you can get, right. So what I said about don't open the devotion screen unless you're somewhere safe. This is reasonably safe. Although you could go somewhere safer. Right. What I did on the commando was I got this guy down here. Affliction. If you look at that. Feated pool, 33% chance when hit. So if a ranged, it doesn't say melee, see, it's like a ranged attacker can hit you. And then this pool will appear underneath them and kill them. It actually factors in a small amount of retaliation damage. Yeah. So that's alright. Need some red and some green. I've got 2 red, I've got no green. Red and green's easy to get. At the moment I'm working on finishing Scarab to get me some gold. Like I said, I'll probably get this thing then. That's got gold on it and that will get me across to Shield Maiden. Level 34. What's I going to do? Oh yeah, pumping everything into physique. I think I've got some level 35 stuff I can put on. Right, what do I want to do with this? Yeah, keep leveling that thing up. I was going to put a point in something. I'm going to put a point in many as well, actually, just in case. And I also want overguard. That's another button. Yeah, great, isn't it? I'll stick that on E. So I got my inner fight buttons and my starting fight buttons. I'm not going to get any more skills than that because that would just terrify me if I had more skills than that. So the components, that's the wrong screen, John. The components I'm using, I ain't got one on there yet. That one's got reinforced shell. It's got blade ward on it. Bumps up your pierce resistance by 24% and adds in a whole massive amount of physical damage retaliation. I have an anti-venom salve on there. Health regen and resistance. I haven't got anything on that yet. Mark of the Traveller. Health regen, movement speed. Wardstone resistances, movement speed. Nothing on the belt yet, need to do that. Actually, I want to get a better belt. I want to get a belt with retaliation damage on it. Soil trousers are alright. Bit of retaliation on there. I've got pierce and bleed resistance component, and I've got a acid retaliation component on the chest armour. And I've got corpse dust on all these 3 things. Health and health regen and vitality resistance on those 3 boys. Some of vitality res is alright. Resistances are alright. Ether's rubbish, but there's not much stuff around here that does ether damage. Just go and kill that boss. Got a shrine fight coming up before I get to this boss. Get rid of these additional idiots first. Watch this now, right? I'll put Bloody Pox on this guy. Curse of Frailty on both of them. Make sure Blood Intrigue's up. They're hitting me, but health regens out healing the damage that's coming in. Then they go a bit mage on me, but it doesn't matter. Right. Okay, so make sure everything's cleared out of the way. You've got an escape route. If it goes horrendously wrong, you can run away. I'm not going to. Make sure there's no... Oh, he's got, look, reflective. He's reflective, but it doesn't matter. Some of these boys are energy leech as well. Ravager's Barb, that might be alright. I think there's the only weapon I've seen with retaliation damage on it is a lightning axe. It's got lightning retaliation on it. What was that there? I think she, Navan the Usurper, I don't think she does melee. We'll find out. See how bad this goes. Yeah, she's not doing melee, so it's a bit of a faff. Look at my health. I'm going to have to drop a health pot in a minute, I think, just to be on the safe side. Or we could always wait for Menier's will to kick in, if you really want to live on the edge. It hasn't kicked in yet, because I haven't got down to 33% health yet. And she's dead. It's alright. You just got to keep an eye on your health. But what I'd say is, if you've got 1 point in that, I've got that ring +1 to all skills in soldier. It's like rubbish. Alright, the +15 physique's okay. I've just got it for the +1 to all skills in soldier. If that kicks in, when your health drops below 33%, you will see it happen because your health regen will go crazy. At that point, you've got to look and think, am I fighting one thing and is it likely to just die, or am I getting surrounded and swamped? If you're getting surrounded and swamped, this is probably the most controversial hardcore tip, and it's also number 2, almost equal number 1 with only use shared stash. If you're in the middle of a fight and things go horribly wrong, do that. Okay? That pauses the game and it gives you the option to quit. And you can have a look and you can see, you can kind of like undo it and put it back on and go, am I health pots on cooldown? How many of my skills are on cooldown? What's the state of all this over here? If you've got Menier's will has run out and it's on cooldown or it's about to run out, if your healing pots for whatever reason have run out and are on cooldown, do that. Exit to main menu. And don't think, oh, you know, because I've been playing on this character for 5 hours 45 minutes, and once it gets 5 hours, you think, well, if I quit, I've walked to this area, I've got to walk here again, what's that going to take you? 30 seconds. Or you lose that 5 hour 45 minutes progress and all the stuff you're lugging around currently. So you have to make a decision. And if the decision, I've got a video up recently when I was fighting the Sentinel, and again, it's all down to, I've got a vague idea what I'm doing. A vague idea. And I saw that my health pot had cooled down or was about to come off cooldown. I smacked that, paused the game again, ran away, and I survived. What I should have done was quit out. If in doubt, quit out. There's no shame in quitting out. It's your time you've spent leveling the character up. Nobody's sitting there looking over your shoulder judging you, going, oh, you should have kept on fighting. And anyone who says that's being a bit of a prat. Yeah, I need to get that affliction devotion. Right, so what I was saying about keeping, I'd never keep more than 2 stacks of 100 of either of them. You don't need loads and loads, you really don't. Your character's only going to need health pots near the start of the game, and you're not going to need tons. Oh. There's the Leviathan's ring. Yeah, I wasn't equipping it because it wasn't adding any other resistances in, only elemental. I thought I hadn't sold it. Right, what the hell's all this? Oh, God.
I'll give you a good price for what I've got left.
I'm sure you will, mate. Yeah, I've done it. Tonic. Yeah, it's a devotion point reset potion. Don't waste that. Don't go wasting that devotion point reset thing until you've got all 55 points and you think I've put them in all the wrong places. You might be able to just undo stuff. Level 44, and I'm doing everything I can to keep myself alive. I found these rings, Goddess rings, health regen. They were the first 2 that dropped. That had a good spread of different resistances on it. That had a nice pile of pierce resistance and a bit of lightning. That shield's alright. It's not got any retaliation damage on it, but it buffs Bloody Pox, it's got health regen, and it adds health regen to Bloody Pox, which I'm using. It's that thing down here. It's that skill you turn on, it lasts for 30 seconds, and you cast it again. I've got 2 pieces of the Perdition set drop, Acid Retaliation armour. I want more pieces. I probably won't get them. Farm Blightum, I got that ages ago. Sanctuary. I'll get a better relic eventually. Devil's Cord, it's from a blueprint you buy from Devil's Crossing faction at Respected. Icric Scale, it's a retaliation and health kind of medal. You can farm that from a boss in Mountain Deeps. Lucky Drop, buy those from Homestead at Respected. You can farm that. Megara, +1 to all skills in Soldier. Everything else on there I'm not really that fussed about. The defensive ability and the 2 small amounts of resistance are decent. I've just got that for +1 to all skills in Soldier. I put all my points in physique. The reason why I've got 44 and not 43 is because one of them's from a quest reward. Lutra the Abandoned, probably. I'll put more points in that. I'll max that out eventually. That's maxed out, that's maxed out. That's a 1-pointer, it's a 1-pointer. It's getting all sorts of points from gear. Depending on if you're doing physical, retaliation, raise that. If you're doing acid, raise that. If you're doing both, raise both for now. If I end up doing mostly acid, I'll take points out of that, put them in there. 1-pointer, yeah, for the speed up, it's hilarious. 1-pointer. Devotions, yeah, hasn't changed much. Got that, got that. I'll complete this, then I'll get this thing. And I'll do this and hopefully get to that. I'm going to try and take the points out of that dog. Actually, I'm going to have a go at that now. I should have checked whether I could do this, but I reckon I can. Yeah, I don't want that dog anymore. Those points are better spent elsewhere, down here. See ya. Right. Actually, do I want to... I could try and finish this off before I get down to... Do I want that skill? What does that do? Retaliation, yeah, can I only 1, 2, 3? I could take the points out 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could actually take those 2. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Let me clear your mind of regret.
Yeah, regret. Right, now I can get that flipping hammer. I'd always say get the skills as soon as you can so they level up as soon as you can get them to level up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bingo. Let's put that on. Okay. Oh, let's put it on Bloody Pox. That'll work. 20. Hang on. What's it on Blitz? 85% chance on attack. Bloody Pox. But Bloody Pox is going to affect loads of things. Yeah. Let's leave it on that for now. Right. Oh yeah. I did Steps of Torment. It was easy. I'll just add some footage in now of the Alchemos fight. Yeah, see what I mean? Only do stuff in hardcore if you know it's going to be easy, or if you're reasonably sure it's going to be easy. And if it doesn't turn out to be easy, quit. Don't stay in a fight you don't have to stay in. Right, where am I going? Here's a tip. More for hardcore than softcore, but you can use this in both. Go and talk to this guy, Garrus, Keeper of Iron. Once you've got a significant amount of money and you think if I die I'm going to lose all that, you can go and talk to this guy. I wish to purchase. Not all that, let's just get 2 of these. There you go. Right, so what I've got now, I've got 2 iron bars, that's worth 100,000. I've still got 290 some odd. Put it in shared stash. If you die, your roguelite successor can grab that money, come and see this guy, trade it in, get the money back, get the 100,000 back. Or if you need the money, you can just go and trade it in. But it's better than carrying it around with you and you lose all that when you die. Right. Don't fight really difficult optional bosses. If you're in hardcore, and you know there's an optional boss that's really hard and has killed you on other characters, just stay away from it. Don't go and fight it, because that would be really silly. One example of the optional bosses that you don't have to fight is Rishalga. You can by all means do the Hidden Path quest to get the additional attribute point and then the skill point at the end. Yeah, you've got to fight the Sentinel, but you should be able to deal with him if you know what you're doing. But you don't have to fight Rishalga. So as I was saying, if you're in hardcore and it's an optional boss that's killed other characters of yours, you all know what's coming next, don't you? I really shouldn't be... I haven't been in here before, right? This isn't a, oh, I've done it, I know I'm safe. I'm just showing off. Don't show off in hardcore. That big group of spiders is quite dangerous. Where's the boss? Here, kitty, here he is. Have some bloody pox. Right, so what happens here? Ooh, sacrifice, that's no good. As soon as you pick that runestone of Bismay up, you'll complete the... there you go. Attribute point. Thank you. Read that, read that. As I was saying, don't go and fight the really hard optional bosses. But if you do fight the really hard optional bosses, remember what I said about quitting out. So if Menhir's will kicks in, or whatever other circuit breaker thing you've got on your character, just do that, exit to main menu. Right, let's go. Yeah, Menhir's will didn't kick in, did it? So yeah, don't do what I do, do what I say. Don't come in here and fight really hard optional bosses in hardcore. Unless you've got a very, very, very good idea about how good your build is and whether you're going to survive.